Alright, mic check. Mic check. Cool. Sounds good. I got everything running. Yeah. Alright, we can go ahead and start recording. Alright, hello everybody. We're getting ready to do some void hunts on Defikingdom. But first, gonna start out with obtaining heroes. So if you go to the docks on DFK chain, which is Crystal Vale Bridge Tokens, DFK chain is where the void hunts are. So you can check various different chains. If you did Ethereum, you should be able to bridge ETH and USDC in. Those I know have liquidity here. What else? Should be similar for like Arbitrum, Optimism, Base. We definitely have the ETH and USDC liquidity. Same with Metis. And then the one I usually use is AVAX, and just straight up bring AVAX, but it also has USDC here too. And then you can bridge that over. And then you would need to go to the marketplace trader. Probably would need a little more Joule for gas if you don't have any. And then you would need to grab some crystal with either AVAX, ETH, USDC, or BTCB, whatever you're bridging over. And then for equipment, you would need some DFK gold. Not sure how much exactly you need, but for one team, you could check out the weaponsmith. Typical weapons for pirate would be this dagger here, which is 20,000 DFK gold. This mace can be wielded by knights, pirates, and warriors. It's a one-handed weapon. So for your knights and warriors, you would want a one-handed weapon if you're starting out, so you can bring a shield and have an effective tank soaking up damage in the void hunt for you. What else? Squire staff, so if you want to put that on a priest, that's also 20,000 gold. Squire's sword, that would probably be my preferred go-to for the knight, and maybe the warrior, if I'm running the shield with them. Two-handed weapons would be a little more advanced play for your warrior or berserker. I think for this video we're going to go for a more traditional team of a tank, a damage hero, and a healer. And if we go over to armor, the shield is a little bit more. It's 73,000 gold. And then you're going to need a light armor for either your priest or your seer, and if you chose a wizard as your damage dealer, but I think I'm going to go with archer today, which is a medium armor, which is what I would choose for my archer. And then a heavy armor, which is going to go on your knight or warrior, and you can hover over these icons and it'll tell you which class it can be equipped by. And that one's at 40,000 gold, so that's the cheapest armor. But yeah, the DPS heroes are going to need the medium, and some of them need the light armor. So that's what you would be using your gold for. And after you have some crystal and jewel for gas, and crystal to grab heroes with, you could go in here, look at warrior or knight for your tank. Priest is probably the lower learning curve for a support hero. And archer, the same thing for your damage dealer. Pirate, wizard, berserker, seer are a little more complex, or the berserker, not really that complex, but harder to level up, and he's more RNG involved because he does get enraged in a berserk mode and moves on his own. And with current hero market valuations, I've been looking at rares or higher, looking at level 10 or higher. And I don't think I need to really grab anything today, but I already have some level 10s to dark summon. But you can look at here, 25 cents basically for any of these heroes. And if you grab 2 of the same class, you can take them to the dark summoner and burn them together to make a stronger hero. You're almost guaranteed to get the same class, but there's a small chance that you get some other class you don't want. So that's the only risk in doing that method. But you do get stronger heroes out of it instead of just grabbing these and throwing them right into a void hunt. And then the other optional thing here is to look at what we call stones. And you can use these when summoning heroes to get higher stats. And they kind of go in this ranking of a lesser, and then just the stone's name, and then a greater. Greater being the highest level stat bonuses you can get. I'm going to be using greater. And greater fortitude is one of the cheapest value tokens for void hunts. They mostly do physical damage. The harder void hunt with the box, those chickens, they do have some magical damage in there. But the greater fortitude stone will do very well in the boar hunt. If we were favoring higher HP, that one is like a little over double the value to grab compared to the greater fortitude, but you don't really have to get the graders. Like if I went to the regular fortitude, that one's only 4 jewel, so they're a lot cheaper there. And if I hover over, or if I click on it, so I get 6 stat points, and the greater I get 8 stat points. And then the other benefit is when you're leveling up your heroes, the greater stone's going to give you 7% to your primary stat growth rate, and then 21% additional chance of getting a secondary endurance stat growth rate, as opposed to 5 and 13. So whereas you only get 2 extra points between the regular and greater stone, you get 2 extra percent here, and then 8 extra percent in the secondary growth. And then what that all looks like coming together, if we go to the dark summoner, I can start out with looking at my knights. And since I have multiple heroes, I'm just making it easier to find, so I'm filtering out those rare level 10 knight only. I have 25 here. And then if I click on this last hero history tab, you'll see that there's no enhancement stone on any of these knights. Just checking if any do. No, none of them do. So all of these are pretty much on par with those heroes I just showed on the tavern that were 55 crystal. And since I have multiple to burn, I can kind of cover again some of the subclass mutations and then the traits again. as you see these advanced green color traits, your subclasses can mutate into a higher subclass, which is on par to like a green advanced skill trait, but for the hero class. And then it starts out with the basics. They go 1 to 8, 1 and 2 in the same slot, active 1. So if you had a 1 here and a 2 here, they could mutate into a trait. I'm looking for a Blinding Winds. That's a 2. So Blinding Winds and Poison Blade are 1 and 2, and they mutate, but they both have to be in the same slot, either active 1 or active 2. And passive 1 and passive 2 operate the same, but they have different names for the traits. Like Duelist is the basic one here, not Poison Blade, how that's basic 1 up here. But really, it's easier to memorize if you think of it as the 1 and 2 in the same slot can mutate a higher tier trait. And I think that's like a 14% chance. So it's not something that's guaranteed. And then, oh, this one here. So 3 and 4 in the passive 2, those have a chance to mutate into a green trait. And the same with the 2 and the 1 here. But up here, I have basic 6, basic 6, basic 2. So those won't really mutate into anything. The same thing kind of applies from the back appendage color up to the hairstyle, but those are just cosmetics, so they don't do anything for your combat. If I'm looking at the classes, Pirate and Berserker are not going to mutate into anything. Pirate and Monk can make a ninja, Berserker and Seer can make a shapeshifter, but because these two have a higher odd of making 2 advanced passive traits, that would be good to try and go for on my tank, because my tank's not really going to be dishing out damage, and the green passive traits that I could mutate into are better suited for a tank or support hero, not on your damage dealer, because you want your damage dealer to make benefit of the green trait called Leadership. And the other one is Menace, which that one doesn't matter who it goes on. That could go on like your archer even. It just lowers the enemy's damage or defenses. We'll have to look at that in combat if I hit one though. So if I take this knight here and the other knight right next to it, actually, where did he go? I think it moved around, but I did copy the hero ID. Oh. Foresight. Fearless. No, I think I grabbed the wrong heroes. Let me find those 2 knights real quick. Pirate and Berserker, yeah, it was these 2. Okay. And then the other thing you would need to grab at the marketplace are a couple of Gaia's tiers. And when you have heroes that are level 5 or higher, you can spend 10 extra tiers to boost it for every 5 level increments. So I can only click it twice because they're level 10. And that's going to give me 4 extra points of vitality from these 2 heroes on my new hero. So my new hero is already starting off with 4 extra points in vitality. And then for the knight, I'm going to use that endurance stone to give him higher physical defense. But here I'm going to actually use the greater fortitude instead of the regular fortitude. And the only other thing to check for is if you have any summons left. This has 1. So right here, boost rarity chance. You can see these will move a tiny bit for this one summon I'm about to put in. Yeah, it just changed minimally, but it adds a little bit the more summons you have. And dark summons are the cheapest summons to do in Defikingdoms. As you can see, it'll be 18.625 total crystal to summon these 2 heroes together. These 2 heroes will be burned and a new one will be created. If I go to their recessive genes, I see a knight here, but no other knight. So that knight being there, as well as the 2 main classes being a knight, is pretty much giving me, I think, over a 75% chance of getting a knight out of this. So let's go ahead and burn this pair. Alright. Now we need a priest. Okay, got 24 priests. If I'm gonna look at the stone tab, this one already has a stone. What else? That's it, okay. So I guess first off, I can start seeing if I have any traits that would mutate again. Duelist, clutch. Okay, I could grab these two in trying to play off the passive skills again for my support hero. So Berserker and Seer also have a chance of making a shapeshifter subclass, which would provide a lot more agility to the hero that comes out of this. Dex, Vitality, Int. So those are okay bonuses there. I have the 1 and 2 going on, but a 3 and an 8. So I'm not going to get any chances of an active skill being green. But down here I have 2 and 2, 1 and 1. So again, I have chances of making green traits in the passive 1 and 2. Wizard, Monk, Thief, Archer, Warrior, Seer. Well, nothing's doubled up, but there's no priest there. But still have a high odds of getting a priest. Got my tier bonuses inputted. In this case, I'm going to get 4 points of wisdom, which will help out greatly if I get a priest. And here I'm going to use a greater insight stone, which also ups the wisdom stats. And that's going to provide more healing HP numbers from your priest onto your other heroes. And no summons, so I can't upgrade the rarity. And this one, I believe because they're both Gen 4, there's a slightly higher cost. This one's 24.5 crystal, but still cheaper than a regular summons. And then 60 Gaia tiers because of those tier bonuses I input up here. And we're ready to burn the priests. And then I need to grab an archer, and then if everything lines up and I get a knight, priest, archer, we won't have to burn anymore. And then we can go level up that team. Pirate, monk, that could make a ninja. That's the only subclass pair here. Traits, I would need speed, so 5 and 6 in the same slot. That could mutate. And then if you see any trait here, like this has a 37.5% chance of coming back out on the hero you do summon. But Clutch and Duelist 1 and 2, 5 and 6, so nothing really else to mutate besides the active 1. And then over here, really only the 8 and the 7. But we got a leadership here, which isn't going to help the archer much if it is on the archer. So that's the only real passive trait you don't really need on your damage hero. But I would like to get an archer ninja. So I think I'm going to try that pair out. So we got the tier bonuses in, the rarity bonuses. This time I have 4. So you can see the mythic chance is 2.75, 2.87, 2.9, 3.1, 3.24. So it jumped up a little bit, as well as all these numbers. Greater Finesse Stone. This is Dexterity, so your archer's main damage stat is going to come from having higher Dexterity, and this is nice too. Both bonuses from this archer are in Dex, and one of them on this archer are in Dex. So there's high odds of the archer coming out of this to still have the stat bonuses, just the natural ones being on Dexterity. I don't really want the wisdom, but if I do, that could help him get a little more magic defense, which is really only in the Bach hunt, not the boar hunt. And then monk and pirate can make a ninja. So let's burn this pair now. And on yesterday's stream, I made a wizard and started to show how to level it, so I can continue leveling that one up with these three heroes. But let's see if they all line out. Okay, this should be the knight. No worries, it's recorded and it'll be there to go back in the beginning. We did get a knight, alright, and we got the Greater Fortitude Stone, and those 4 tier bonuses went into the Vitality stat. But that stone is giving us, instead of having 11 endurance, we're starting out with 19, which is gonna greatly up the knight's physical defense in the boar hunt and most of the Bach hunt. And then for accuracy for physical attacks, it's mainly coming from dexterity. So I'm gonna have to get that up a little bit on the knight so I can land some hits. And now let's see if I can get the priest out of this next one. And then the archer would be last. Oh, okay. And it mutated into a shapeshifter. So I did a priest berserker and a priest seer. Awesome. So if I look at the shapeshifter, that 20% agility is mainly what that shapeshifter is boosting. Otherwise, it would probably be closer to 10%. And because I used the Insight Stone and the 4 tiers from the priests happened to be boosting wisdom also. So with the stone I'm getting 8 wisdom points, and those 4 tiers I'm getting 4 more wisdom points. So this priest would have had 11 wisdom without doing this. So that's why the Dark Summon can make a lot stronger heroes for the Void Hunts. So right, this would have been 11 without any tier boosts or the stone. But instead of 11, it's 23. Alright, heal and Poison Blade are fine. That'll serve us well. Alright, now let's see if the archer lands. And then if it does, we're good. We can go level up those 3 plus finish the wizard from yesterday. But for the core hunt comp for easiness at level 10, I think we're going to stick to the priest, archer, knight. Okay, the archer turned into a legionnaire, but we did get 2 traits out of it. So this is a pretty cool legionnaire for next year, or maybe next year. It might take a little longer to get this class, but we'll see. That means I need to burn 2 more archers. That means I also need another dexterity stone. So I'm gonna go into here, go into finesse. Okay, I need to spend crystal because I'm low on jewel at the moment. Yeah, just gonna grab 1 more of these. Since you were late, I can go back to the tavern and look for any more archers to see if there's any deals. If not, I'll just burn the 2 I have, which probably don't have a whole lot going for them other than stats. Yeah, the archer's kind of pricey compared to the others. Let me see the archers that I do have. Scholar Warrior, so I would need Knight or Legionnaire. And I would need 6, 5, or 7 and a 1. 6, 5, or 7 and a 1. don't have the traits I'm looking for, but that's a Legionnaire. And I think the other one I had was a Warrior, so I would have needed a Knight. There's a Knight there. Looks like the Archer, there's a lot of them at 180 crystal. Ooh, Legionnaire. 1 and 2 is needed. But that's my Warrior. Okay, since I got summons here, I might try to pick up a Knight subclass so I can burn these summons for rarity. But I would need 7, 8, 8, or 1. 7, 8, 8, 1 to try and mutate any of these in order. 7, 8, 8, 1, and a Knight. Alright. Archer, Knight, Rare, level 10. 7, 8, 8, 1. So for the price, it's only going to be this one that has any traits that mutate while keeping the subclass. Let me check the stat bonuses. Endurance, Vitality, that's okay. Alright, I'll grab that one and then we'll burn it with my other Archer. Okay, Knight, Warrior, get the tier boosts in here, and both of these are providing 4 total points into Dexterity, which is my damage stat, and my accuracy stat. What happened to my... Dang. Okay, let me go back to the market. It looks like the transaction failed for the Finesse Stone. Or I grabbed a crystal. Maybe I grabbed a crystal. Alright. Go back to the Dark Summoner. Warrior, Knight. Input those tiers. Input my Greater Finesse Stone. Max out the summon bonuses, so about 11% chance to be higher than a rare hero. 21.75 crystal, 180 Gaia tiers. That's because 120 of those tiers are coming from the summon rarity boost. Alright, now let's see if we can get a Archer out of this pair. Yeah, thanks, Toon. Yeah, so I grabbed a crystal. I thought I saw 90C, so I was like, yeah, must have been a crystal. That's alright, I'll need it at some point. Alright, 4 seconds. Alright, let's pull it out. Okay, just need it to be an Archer. And... Alright, Archer Paladin. Cool. So both the Priest and Archer got a advanced subclass. The Paladin is giving me more endurance and more vitality. And then that Finesse Stone is helping my Dex growth rate. And then I think Strength is also boosted from the Paladin. So Paladin may be boosting Strength, Endurance, Vitality, secondary growth rates. So yeah, not bad overall. Cleanse and Death Mark, that's fine. We can make use of that in both Void Hunts. Alright. And we're starting out with 24 dex, and then without the tier boost and the greater dex stone, we would be at 12 dex. So we're basically starting out with double the dexterity points, which is more damage and more accuracy. So that also makes them stronger and easier to level up. Now go to the meditation circle. I'm gonna just throw a filter in here because there's too many heroes. I do believe they're all rare. The wizard is not. Okay. So I need to do knight, archer, wizard, priest. Drop it down to level 3 for now. I think the wizard seer is what I was leveling up yesterday. Yes. So let's continue with that one. The wizard went with intelligence stone, and I think that's where the tier bonuses probably landed. Maybe not, but you can see the int growth rate. That's mostly coming from the greater stone plus seer subclass. That seer subclass is also boosting wisdom and int. And for a wizard, we get magic accuracy for damage from 60% of it is from wisdom. So 60% of that 15, and then 40% of that dex. That adds up to be my accuracy of landing magical attacks. So that doesn't matter the same for like a priest. The priest needs wisdom to do more healing numbers for your heroes. But we also don't want to miss with the wizard. So what I'm doing right now is probably wisdom, int, and vitality. I still need to get the vitality up so I can try and avoid low health rolls during my level ups. And as far as crystals go, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with agility, wisdom, and use my intelligence crystals. So this is like a regular crystal, not a lesser or greater. And this one's gonna add 30% secondary growth rate. So to this, it would be a 68.5% chance. And then the 10% adding up here makes it a 98% chance of the primary +1. So that's pretty nice there. Let's go ahead and add it to the queue. And then the knight we just made. Here's the priest and the archer and the knight. Okay. So the priest shapeshifter. Probably gonna play off with regular insight crystals. So a 62.25% and a 99% chance. And gonna go with a main boost in Vit, a secondary boost in agility, and a secondary boost in int. Because int and wisdom both play into spell power, which is part of the priest's barrier and some of their healing skills. So you don't want to neglect int entirely on the healers. And agility is just great on everybody for void hunts. I think if you can get close to 20 by level 10 on any hero, that's probably decent enough for the boar hunt. But the Bach hunt does start at level 12, so it's gonna be a little more challenging until your heroes are level 12. But by dark summoning them like this with the greater stone and tears and leveling them properly, it does make it possible to beat the Bach hunt with level 10 team like this with a higher win rate. Especially if you have some of the strategy under your belt of how to avoid making it harder by killing the wrong enemies at the wrong time, which we'll get into later. Alright, so I'm going to add this to the level up queue. Now the archer. Going to grab a regular finesse crystal. So this becomes 61% and 99%. Going to The VIT is very low. I could primary it or I could secondary it, and if I do it down here, this becomes 74% chance. So I think I might do that. Yeah. And, you know, what I like to do with the archer is kind of flip-flop strength and agility. So we'll see which one lags. But I think I'm going to hit agility right now because strength is at least at 20. And for damage purposes, gonna push dex up for now in the primary. So this combination here, if I land this 99% and this 61%, plus this one bonus, I could get 3 points in dexterity for this level up. And then gotta grab that new knight. I think it was this guy here. Yeah, it looks like it. 19 points? Yeah, okay. Because these are a lot cheaper, I'm gonna use the Greater Fortitude Crystal to make leveling this knight a lot easier. And I'm gonna do Dex primary, because Dex is hard to level them up with. Since I'm using a priest, I can completely ignore agility on the knight, because the priest can greatly boost the agility of a hero, which I can show you once we get there. So I think that means gonna go strength vitality for now. Yeah, okay. So there's the 4 heroes. We're gonna keep leveling up to 10. Yeah, thanks, Toon. Yeah, for your warrior and knight, primary stat bonus of dexterity is smart to do early on, because those two classes have an easier time of leveling up HP anyway, because they're tanks, and then any non-tank hero is going to have a harder time of leveling up HP. But because of that, those tanks have a harder time of leveling up dexterity. Alright, 4 heroes, complete the meditation. And let's see, I'll try and minimally re-roll these heroes. This wizard already was re-rolled a few times, but we don't need to re-roll it on this level. We got 34 HP. The mana's kind of low, but you know, it's a void hunt, so we'll be fine. The stat points are great. This is a good distribution. 2 agility, 2 vit, 2 int. The 1 in wisdom, I would have liked to have another one, but that's okay. We're trying to build these heroes with less re-rolling, because they're not for PvP. And the priest got 30 HP, 7 mana, so that's okay. 1 in agility, 2 in vit, 2 in int, 1 in wisdom. We're okay with that. The archer had a great level up. That's 39 HP, 6 mana, 2 in dexterity. Kind of surprised we didn't hit the secondary, but that's okay. I mean, 6 is kind of low, but it's not to the point where I need to re-roll it for a void hunt. And the knight leveled up great, minus the mana, but that's typical of a tank. They have a harder time of leveling up the mana points. I'm not too worried about strength, unless it lags later. But 2 in dex is perfect. 2 in agility is fine. You know, I'll take all the agility I can get. 1 vit is kind of low for the knight, but that's okay. And then we got our 2 points there from having, let's see. This offers 15% to the primary, so 97%. And then 45, so that's like 81%. So we did hit both of those. So we don't need to reroll anybody. Let me refresh. I'm gonna go level 2, level 4. So I gotta find the wizard. Alright. back to the wizard here. I think on this round, since it's legendary, I'm going to give it a greater insight, go with wisdom, go with vit, so this will be 66.5% with this vit boost down here. And then up here, it's going to stay at 52%. Intelligence is already fine, so I think I'm going to go with agility. Yeah, let's see how this goes. For that level up, grab the priest again. Probably go back to vit, agility int, and then grab another insight crystal. And then there's my archer. Gonna grab that regular dexterity crystal again. And probably go with a primary boost this time there. And then strength and agility. Yeah, I think that's how I want to level this one. Yeah, that's 6 vit points. I kind of want to get up a little early. Alright, one more hero. That's the Knight Berserker. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same strat. I think it was like that. Yeah. Vitality, strength, and dex. And then the endurance should level up almost +2 every time. With being like 88% and higher for both rolls. Here we go. Alright, hopping back to the chat. Do I think they will make a Ragnarok type version of PvE where you don't need assets? That's what I hope they do. I don't know if they will, but I hope they do. Hey, what's up, Mello? we need Bolon to retweet for that. But on X, Mello said let's get 420 viewers again. Yeah, I think we were doing that on the Dark Summoning days when we were live for like 3+ hours. Alright, this is a level 5. So every increment of level 5 in 10, 15, 20, you get these extra rarity points depending on your hero card rarity. Mythic gets the most, and then you get less for the lower rarities all the way down to common. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, so I think the mythic gets 10 points, the legendary gets 7, the rare probably gets 4 or 5, something like that. But we got a good HP roll, another low mana roll, but the stats are fine, so we're going to keep that. And because I haven't re-rolled it for 2 levels, this cost is going to keep decreasing until I do re-roll it again. 31, and the mana's fine. I don't really dig 2 points in strength, but I guess that does help with your basic attacks and block % chance. 2 in agility is fine. 1 in vit, I guess, is okay. I mean, if this was a PvP hero, I would re-roll it, but I'm going to keep it as is because it's a hunt hero. And then this is under 30 HP. 2 mana. 10 stats is pretty good, though. I think I can keep it as is. The Knight got a pretty big HP roll, again with the 2 mana, but only 4 stats. So I think this is almost worth re-rolling. I don't have to because the HP was so high, but I don't know. Could keep it without the re-roll. I think I want to do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the priest because it's probably hard to hit another 30 HP roll. Then I'm gonna go into my level ups and spend 2 Divine Essence, which is like 1.2 Joule. And the more you re-roll in a row, that goes up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So you can see that Rerolling a lot, you know, exponentially increases the cost to reroll. So for void hunting heroes, you don't want to do it too much. What's up, Casey? Alright. Complete ritual. Yeah, and whatever this is, I'll probably just keep the roll so I can reset it back to 2 DE after. Oh, nice. We got another decent HP roll, and we got 10 mana. So already, that was a better roll. And we got 3 extra points there. Alright. Back into start meditation. Grab the wizard out again. Still lagging behind in wisdom. And only because it's legendary, I'm going to throw the greater crystal in here again. Going to primary boost the wisdom and rely on the crystal to try and get 3 wisdom points. And then going to do vitality and agility again. And priest, what do we need? So you're only level 3. Probably going to stick with the regular wisdom crystal. Primary boost of vitality, agility, and int down here. Yeah, that's fine. Because the priest is the only one that has the ability to do a skill on my other 2 heroes that can increase the agility. I kind of want the priest to have close to 20 or more agility for level 10. So it can be fast. And then archer, same strat. Kind of want to pump the dex to the 40 to 50 level to be able to do a lot of damage in the void hunt. So I think here going to go dex and then rely on this 61% chance there. The graders are too much for a rare, so I wouldn't really use those. But the greater endurance stats crystal is one of the cheapest for the knight anyway. So dex, agility, vitality. Strength is okay. I would like to get it to 20 for level 10. We'll see how that goes. And then grab the knight out with the greater endurance crystal. Go to dex, go to strength, go to vitality. And there's my 4 heroes again. I don't know when they're going to put the game on the App Store. Right now we have a mobile app for Android devices. iOS is harder to make one for. But you still need like a crypto wallet to play it. But next year they might be making the nearly free-to-play PvP mode something that could go on an App Store. So we'll see. I'll let you know. But check back next year on that one. You can play on like your iOS tablets and stuff right now, but you do need a crypto wallet. Alright, I got my 3 here. 55 HP. Low mana again. I don't know what's up with this wizard and mana. He doesn't like it. But I'm going to keep it because that's a great level up. And if I check this tab, I think this was like all the way up to 8 to 10 DE from the early rerolls, but because I haven't been rerolling it the last 3 level ups, it reset back to 2 already. 33 HP, 7 mana, no agility, that's a bummer, but everything else is great, so I'm going to keep it. And then the archer, I mean the HP and MP are good. Kind of a low stat average, but at least I still got 2 points in dex, so I'll keep it as is. Yeah, we got 1 vitality. The knight. Another 6. That HP is terrible, so I am going to re-roll it. And he's at 3 DD cost now. Let's see if I can get a better roll out of the knight, though. really want a lot of HP and endurance on that knight because he's going to soak up most of the damage being in the front line. And yeah, this is recording, and I think after this one I will get this one put onto YouTube as an actual video with some timestamps in there. Alright, let's see what pops out. Okay. That's like 36, 2, 1. 2 points in dex is good though. So yeah, we'll keep it. It is kind of another low HP roll for that knight, but I'll have to deal with it. I need to find my wizard again. There it is. Okay, another greater insight. I'm gonna go with wisdom, agility, and vitality, I think. Well, it's already at 17. I kind of want to start guaranteeing my int goes higher again. Because like the archer, I would like this in the 40s. Man, tough decision. I think I'm going to start swapping to this strategy. To try and get 3 points of int, 2 points in wisdom. And then my agility maybe gets a level up. I mean, vitality at 17, I think I'm okay with since it's going to level 10. Alright, that's not one. You're one of them. You're only level 4. Okay, same strategy here. Gonna go wisdom, vit. And agility? Yeah. Because for the priest, I would also like the wisdom to be in the 40s to maximize my healing. It's kind of a thing with min-maxing their specific codex stat utility. The codex just means their combat skills playing into specific stat points for their hero class. And the archer favors dexterity. Oh, okay. Level 5. So this is the big level up, aside from level 10. So let's see what I can do here for dexterity. I could get a lot of points in dex. And then vitality, agility again, because vitality is still lagging at 9. And agility is lagging. Let's go with that. And the knight is the last one. You're the easiest. Dex, strength, vit. There's the 4 heroes. And then once these are all level 10, we'll go do the void hunt. And you can run the same team through both void hunts 1 time a day each. But you have to wait for the stamina refill. But for the video's sake, I'll just refill their stamina with these potions. So you only need 1 potion to refill the stamina. So I'll only need to use 3 on that team. Alright, here we go. Alright, big HP, big mana roll. But I got the 2 points where I want them. DE is fully reset back to 2, so I'm definitely going to re-roll that because it's a legendary with a greater stone. But, I mean, where the stats mattered, that wasn't too bad. Because the big mana and HP roll there. Alright, priest got 34 HP, 8 mana, 3 agility. Alright, that was the level 5, so the rares get 4 bonus rarity points. Maybe commons get none. I don't really remember. That might mean uncommon only gets 1 bonus point here. We got 2 in endurance, 2 in int, 2 in wisdom, 3 in agility. Overall, that's great. Archer got terrible HP, only 15. And I kind of want these bonuses here to line up in the decks. But the 3 in agility isn't too bad, but the HP is terrible. And it's only at 4 DE, so let's try 1 reroll. The knight leveled up okay, 39 HP, 2 mana, stat distribution is alright. At 15, I think it's a high roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, basically 9 stat points, plus all these bonuses over here. So that's pretty good. We're going to leave the knight as is, and just reroll that wizard and archer. And then in total, that's going to cost 6 DE. So like 3.5 jewel total, maybe? And then going back to the YouTube chat, for getting a loot drop luck contribute. Oh, so how much does the luck stat help your percent? So I kind of know it like this. I think it's like a 1% drop rate or less. And if you have 50 luck on 3 heroes, that's 150 luck. And that would give you like a 3% chance of getting loot. So it goes from like being like less than 1% to like a 3%. But the more team total luck your 3 heroes have, the more decimal points your drop rate percent goes up. But I do know like 150 total luck between your 3 heroes is only around a 3% chance of getting loot. And this is not cheap, but there's very rare pets called scavenger pets, or I think I only have 12, but wait, didn't filter, did it? What's going on here? Okay, my pets. Yeah, scavenger. So you can see here, increase the chance of receiving rare loot from combat by 21%, 25%, 17%. But it's definitely not cumulative. It doesn't add up. So I think it plays into like if my team luck was 150 and I have a 3% chance, I think it's like a 25% chance on top of the 3%, and then a 21% on top of whatever that math outcome is, because I've gone 40 hunts without a drop using 150 luck teams with 3 scavenger pets, and yeah, not getting a drop so far. So, just RNG, man. Yep, yeah, the drop rates, it's just RNG. Some days you'll get lucky, some days you won't. Like even what I just said here, I'm on a 40 hunt cold streak with no equipment, even using all these teams. And some people can be using just normal teams and they can get a drop where I'm not. Alright, wizard. Got a great roll minus the mana, but we're gonna keep it. I want the int right there. 3 points in int. The archer, mostly fine except for the deck, so I am gonna re-roll it again. I really want to get at least 4 points of dexterity out of this. Yeah, RNG is playing with me right now. That's why it doesn't really matter to focus on the percent so much, but having high luck teams seems to help enough the more you hunt. So like if you hunt every day for months, that's going to help you a lot compared to not having high luck heroes. But the easiest hero to do void hunts with while maximizing your luck stat is the pirate. And I have been enjoying using void hunt teams that are all 3 pirates. But I do dark summon them with greater fortune stones and level them up with fortune crystals. And because pirate is the most favored hunt class at the moment, these fortune crystals and stones aren't cheap. They're pretty much the same price as the best PvP stone and crystals. So if you're gonna go that route, it's gonna be probably the most pricier PvE teams at the moment. Ah, shoot, I missed it, so I need to go back into here and throw my archer in. 32 HP, 11 mana, 2 decks again. Why? That feels bad when I'm using a greater crystal. And I'm already at 8 DE. The 3 points in Vid is nice. 2 in agility. I just wish I didn't get shafted on the dexterity. I think I'm gonna try one more reroll there. And in the meanwhile, let's get these into the queue. Gonna go with int, wisdom, agility. The priest, gonna go with regular insight for wisdom. Gonna go wisdom, int, agility. Yep. And then the knight, gonna do the same thing here with dex, strength, vitality. And then I'm gonna re-roll that archer and try to add him to the level up queue. Yeah, man, it's RNG. The more things you do, the more RNG spreads out. So if I was leveling up a bunch of other heroes with these right now that I don't care about, it would probably balance the RNG out more. But here we go. This is perfect. I will keep that. 4 points in agility and 3 in dex. And 2 in strength. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna go back to regular finesse. Gonna keep trying to maybe get 3 points of dex. I still need vitality. Strength is leveling up fast enough on its own with only 55% and 20%. Now I got 4 heroes here. We're halfway done leveling up. I need to be pickier with rerolling that archer now though, because it jumped up there in DE. And we gotta wait a few seconds. Rare, knight, archer, wizard, priest. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to that old filter I had. Alright, let's see if we can go without re-rolling anybody this time. At least not the archer. Big HP roll. That's huge. That's like 58. 4 mana. Again, this wizard hates mana. It's only at 3 DE, but that's such a big HP roll. I think I'm gonna keep it. The priest got terrible HP, but he got a really good level up. So we're gonna keep it. I hope that doesn't bite me later. Keeping like, that's less than 20 HP. That's so bad. I would re-roll it if this wasn't so good right here. These are all the stats I want. In the knight. That is pretty good. Too bad I only got 1 endurance point, but I'll keep it. Archer. Okay, those are okay. This is okay. We'll keep it. Perfect. Don't have to re-roll anybody. Refresh. Wizard Seer. Gonna go for the big int again. Int, wisdom, and agility. Yep. The priest. Same thing here. Wisdom, agility, int. The knight. Same thing we've been doing the entire time. Dex, strength, vitality. Yeah. Only because I don't care about the agility on the knight. The heavy armor is also going to slow him down. And some of the heavy weapons slow them down, but I don't think the one-handed weapons do. So I can scratch what I said about the weapon. The warrior can use a two-handed weapon, and that does slow him down. Yeah, I think I'm still going to keep trying to chase vitality here. Alright, that looks good as is. Here we go. Making our way to level 7, but the wizard is going to level 9. So we're almost done with the wizard. But yeah, Broken Heart, the RNG plays with you everywhere, even in PvP and PvE. Alright, 3 seconds. Go ahead and claim this. Here we go. Got a low roll, but now we get a good MP roll. I like the points there though. Let's check the DE. It's all the way back to 2. HP is kind of lagging. I will re-roll it because it's back to the base cost. I think the priest is at, 2 DE, so... yeah, I need to re-roll that. You need more HP. I can't sacrifice HP anymore. Same with you, because all of these heroes are... I haven't really re-rolled, so they're all at the base. But the archer, good. I don't need to re-roll you this time. 3 points in dex, 11 total stats. Perfect. So I'm going to re-roll the other 3, and it's only going to be 6 total DE, 2 per hero. Alright, Glut, give me some good RNG. What did I not? Okay, I'm gonna queue the archer up while I wait. Back to dex. We're almost at our 40 goal. Agility has been leveling good. The Vit has not been. But, oh, anyway, there we go. Here we go with these. Claim the level ups. Let's hope we don't have to re-roll anybody again. So we can move on. Good HP, really good MP. 3 in int. Yeah, I gotta keep that one. Big HP roll, big MP roll, good stats. Yep, gotta keep that. The knight got shafted on HP. Mana went pretty good. Oh, I like the stat distribution. That is great. Everything's good except that HP on the knight. And just to put it in perspective, like, it was 19. So I think I could have got like near 70 HP up to like 420. I am gonna re-roll it. Yeah, here we go. And then we'll queue up some of the other heroes while we wait. Once this, there we go, pops in there. Grab my wizard out. Final level up for that wizard. Need to go all out on that. Gonna choose wisdom and agility. I am worried about the wisdom, but it might be okay. We'll see. Priest, shapeshifter. You need more wisdom again. Agility and intelligence. I think at this point, yeah, we're gonna ignore the vitality. It hasn't been doing us any good on that priest. And I already put the archer in, so I just need the knight to come out. How much HP should you have from a knight at level 10? Well, if you're not using a vigor stone, which I didn't, you probably want at least in the 500s. So on average, you probably want HP rolls at least 40 or higher. But I mean, once this gets to 20, you can get HP rolls in the 70s. But if I did use a greater vigor stone, it would have been a lot easier to get the HP over 700 for level 10. But I would be missing out on endurance. I probably wouldn't be getting this to 30 by level 10. And by the time we get to level 10, that endurance might be close to 40. So that's really going to help out my physical defense and in soaking up damage more than having 700 HP versus 500 to 600 HP. So overall, it's not too bad. This level up's fine though. I got my endurance, I got a dex, I got strength, I got my HP and mana. So let's go plug him back in here. Gonna continue pumping out the same stats. Been focusing on endurance. What's my dex? It's at 15. I think I'm gonna change it slightly. I think I'm gonna ignore the VIT and go for dex here. I really want to pump that endurance up. Now that I'm level 8 here, that's what I'm going for. And the wizard's going for its final level up. Yeah, endurance is P defense, physical defense. And there's also some pet in here. I think it's brick wall. Yeah, P red. That's basically physical defense. There might be another one. I know Omni Shell, which is, I think, a more expensive pet. That one does physical and magical defense. P defense and M defense. Yeah. So there's also some pets that can help with tanking. And if you're going for value, you'd probably be looking at the 1 and 2-star combat pets, not the 3-star combat pets. The PvP bros get those 3-star combat pets, so they're a little more. Ooh, less than 20 HP, 2 mana. What is your DE at? 5. Gonna re-roll it. I'm gonna be picky with my damage dealer. Ooh, that wizard got 5 points in int, 3 in wisdom. Perfect. And we broke into 500 HP. You know, I would say if you can get 500 HP on any hero, that is good enough. But you're not always gonna break 500 HP on your healers and your damage dealers. But we did break into the 40 int. So kind of like the archer, we want to break into 40 dex. And then the healer priest, we want to break into 40 wisdom. So I hit the goal on the wizard. We're re-rolling the archer. The priest got great HP again, great mana, all the wisdom I want. Yep, we're going to keep it. The knight got 3 in endurance. Big HP roll, low mana, but we're going to keep it. So let's re-roll that archer again. That archer has been difficult to level up because of the health. Yeah, that was a great level up on the wizard. I got the bonuses where I want them. All into int and wisdom. Now I'm going to take the wizard filter off because I'm done with that. And then I'm going to go down to rares. And everybody is pretty much a higher level. Yeah, there's the knight. Gonna go for broken endurance again. Gonna keep playing into strength and dex. Priest shapeshifter. We still need to pump that wisdom. And then int and agility. And it looks like we're going to hit the 20 agility goal on the priest, so that's nice. And I think we're down to 3 heroes, so I just need to get the archer. Perfect. We got 51 HP, 9 mana, which is huge on the archer, 3 dex. I mean, that's the best I can ask for. Alright, Archer Paladin, here we go. We already hit the 40 dex, and even 20 agility. Now just need to get strength in there. I think I will try and do Vid again, because it will help going from level 10 to 20 to not leave this lagging too much. So for now, we're gonna throw it in like that. And that's everybody. Alright, 3 heroes now. This is our real hunt team anyway. The wizard we can do another day and replace the archer to show how that would be. But for today, I think we're gonna do the staple team of priest archer knight. And I can raise this up here. Alright, everybody's going to level 9. Perfect. I kind of want to grab a greater finesse crystal for the archer's final level up. HP wise we're okay, endurance wise we're okay. We did miss out on dexterity. That's gonna maybe bite us later. But I think I'm gonna keep the level up. Yeah, we'll keep the level up. We're happy with the HP MP. Not happy with this. But it does put us at 2040. I could re-roll it, but I don't want to risk getting low HP rolls, so we're gonna leave it. Perfect. Good enough. Great. Big mono roll. Okay. So everybody's gonna go for the last level up, but I'm gonna grab one greater finesse crystal. Yes, for the archer's last big level up. So yeah, that one crystal is a lot more than a regular finesse, but it is what it is. Okay, reset. There's my archer. There's my new greater finesse crystal. Go with dex. So we could get this almost to... No, let's see. We could get 3 plus 4 bonus. So I mean, if every bonus rarity stat from level 10 went into dex, I could hit 50 dex, but that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, I said I was okay there. We're going to do Vit and Strength. And for the priest, we're pretty much happy with everything. Last level up, might as well make it easy. Focus on wisdom with a greater. Do agility int for the spell power and speed. Knight, gonna go the same route with being a tank with endurance. But it, you know, if I was to get to the stage of the Bach Void Hunt, where the little Bachs get enraged, I think that's where they're doing magical damage. And with 9 wisdom, they could destroy this knight. Just for reference. Yeah, we'll keep it going like this. Actually, let's do Vitality. The more points of it I get, the more HP I could get in this roll anyway, so we'll go with that. And since it's the last round of leveling up, I'm going to refresh the browser and go right into claiming them and overwrite the 20 seconds of level up. The reason I wasn't doing it before is because it would reset my hero filter every time I refresh. And we got 4 into dex, 2 into agility, 52 HP, 11 mana. Perfect. You know what? We're gonna keep it. We missed 50, but we got to 47. That's more dexterity than most level 10 archers I see in PvP. Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy rare archer. Over here. Very, very low HP. Oh yeah, we can definitely do better on the priest. And it's only 4, so it's not going to hurt too bad to reroll. The knight is at 6. We can definitely do better on the knight. HP is low, so let's reroll those two. Between the two heroes, it's going to be a total of 9 DE, so about 4.5 joule for this reroll of both heroes. And we'll get them into pop up here and hit F5 on my browser, refresh, and claim. Let's see what we get. Much better on the HP and the mana. 4 into wisdom. I missed out on the int and the agility. But, you know, what can you do? I think we'll leave it there because we're not trying to over reroll for the demonstrations here. Great HP roll. Mana roll is okay. Overall, the mana is low for a level 10 knight. But, you know, what can you do? We got 3 endurance. Aw, man, we didn't break our 40. Oh well. You know, the bonus being an int, wisdom, and luck, I kind of would have preferred to be up here. I do want to re-roll it, but it's kind of sketchy to do so. That's okay. We'll leave it. It is fine. It's a great level up. I'm just being picky with that 40 endurance. Oh, 36 dex at level 14. Does it have a stone? Was it a dark summon? Or does it not have a stone? If it doesn't have a stone, I mean 36 dex is still pretty good, even though it's level 14. But I mean, as you saw, like the RNG, like if you had really good RNG every level up without re-rolling that archer, and you know, it could be strong enough as is, but usually RNG is gonna screw multiple levels up, so you need to re-roll. And I covered the getting gold and getting these level 10 or higher all on the right side, weapons and armor already, and you can hover over and it'll show the class. But yeah, you do need the shield for the knight. I think I already have what I need though, so I'm gonna go to the boar hunt, gonna filter out knight, archer, priest, rare, level 10, so I can find my heroes. One's a shapeshifter, one's a paladin, one's a berserker. Okay, sorry, too many heroes, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. So these are the main 3 I'm going to use, yep, in this demonstration. And looking at their total stats, 155, 155, 158. This hero had really nothing, and as you can see, it still got 140. It's a knight though, but you can see it still got 140 into the total stats. But because this person was leveling it up to be a quest hero, a miner, they neglected the dexterity entirely. But the HP and mana are bigger than mine. But where it really does matter is I got more dex, I got more endurance, and that's about it. For the knight anyway. What is this hero? This is a priest. So I could compare that priest that had really only 1 reroll, no stone, with my priest, which is this one. So my priest had 155 stats, so 20 more total stats than this one, of which 12 are coming out of the tier bonus and the stone. But I got 44 wisdom, this one has 32. I got 6 more agility than that one. Int is almost the same, and that's really all that matters between these 2 priests. But it still got close HP and close enough mana. So I mean, this priest was basically a 55C priest. You know, so this one is almost good enough to hunt with as is, like without burning it. But then I don't have an archer to show in this example, but archers as you know, are harder to level up anyway. Alright, I'm gonna start gearing up my knight. I'm gonna use vendor gear for the video. Yep, so that's the one-handed level 10 vendor weapon for the knight. And then we're gonna grab that shield, which is also in the armor vendor. Just gotta make sure you grab the ones on the far right column, which are all the level 10 weapon and armors. And down here, level 10 heavy armor, that's gonna go on the knight. Accessories, I'm not gonna use anything crazy, but what do I have that'll actually do something? Probably just a shelmet, which we were getting for free a couple months ago as a void hunt drop for an event, and the base bonuses were 2.5% damage reduction, so that's what I will stick with. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna burn this one down to turn it into a Vizzy. That black color was the rare color on the shelmets. Had a pretty low percent chance. Looks like Omni Shell does come in 2-star, maybe not a 1-star, but I could go for Brick Wall. Well, I mean, I don't know, all I have is 3-star there. Okay. I'm probably gonna go with Omni Shell, but there was one that gives block percent chance. Can't remember what it was. That's what I'm looking for. No, that's Days. It's not Hardy Constitution, it's not Harder Shield. Heavy Hide, maybe? Yeah, Heavy Hide is what I was looking for. That comes in a 1-star, a 2-star, and a 3-star. I think I'll try to balance it out by maybe just going with the 2-star. So we got physical defense there. And I like to use my Vizzies, which don't offer any combat bonuses. I'm gonna leave the head alone because the Shelmet is already basically like a Vizzy. What's tanky? Hercules is tanky. Oh, one-handed weapon, so I can't use that. I can use a fishing rod? Alright, I don't think I ever used that. Alright, we're gonna gear up the knight and make him look cool. Same thing with the archer. Probably throw the muscle suit. The muscle suit I only don't like on the females, but they're all males, so I can stick with that one. I really like the witch hat. Let's throw that on you. And then I need the level 10 vendor bow, which is this one. Looks like I got 45 of those. I could go between light armor or medium. The light armor would give me a little more evasion, but the medium armor is going to give me more defense. So let's stick with the medium armor from the gold vendor. And then I'm going to stick with the same theme and just go with the Shelmet. Now with the pet, I don't know what type of pet I want for this archer. With how high his dexterity is, I don't need the accuracy pet, which I think is Good Eye. Yep, ACC, that's physical accuracy. So you could put stuff like that on like my knight, which would help him hit more, but I do want to play into his tankiness as much as possible, so I did do that with the pet. The 3-star accuracies max out at 5%. There's also one for magic accuracy. There's Good Eye and Third Eye. Third Eye is the magic accuracy. Yep. So that is definitely gonna be wanted for the wizards, because they do miss a lot with their magical attacks. For the archer, another fun one is Vorpal Soul, but you know, they go from 1 to 5% crit chance, so I could do that too. Another one that's fun is Blur. These pets go from 1 to 5%. 5% is pretty rare, but 2% you can kind of find pretty cheap. And it looks like that's all I got, so maybe I'll go with the agility for you. Yep. And then the priest, I need to give it, I think, the staff. Block chance. Yep, that's fine. That's kind of like the gore staff. Yep, but this one is level 10, so let's put that on. And then the priest can only use light armor, and we need the level 10. And a good equipment accessory, which is still fairly cheap, is one we also obtained from a Void Hunt event, and which is this witch hat. And the base bonus was 2%, so I'm going to use that one. And well, everybody's already in a muscle suit. What color are you? You got red wings. Maybe let's give you a red skin, and let's give you a stick. And I'm not going to put a Vizzy on because you're going to use the witch hat equipment item. And then a pet. I might use the one for spell power, which is attuned. Probably will stick. Well, let's see. What are the 2 stars doing for me? 3%, 4%. Let's go with the 4% one then. Now we're gonna equip everybody. With everything we're equipping in a bulk transaction, it's still only 0.0003 cents on the dollar. Good old DFK chain. Alright. Give this a moment to sync up all my gear. The fishing pole on the knight. That's hilarious. Alright, we're gonna go priest, archer, knight. Super. Let me remove loadout. You do need to kind of buy these at the marketplace, but they're very cheap. For the boar hunt and the bok hunt, you really only need these small HP and MP monovials, and coagulant potion for the boar hunt, which you will be using on your tank when he gets hit with bleed. You don't need that one really in the bok hunt as much. In the bok hunt, you need the anti-blind potion, which we'll show next time. After this hunt, I mean. Okay, everybody is ready. Now we need to go with our skills. The priest is going to be playing into pure support. I could do Prayer of Healing or Cleansing Gift. I'm going to stick with Prayer of Healing. I might choose the Healing Potency. Holy Circle is great, but Freedom can clear status effects, provide a smaller healing to the hero, and a chance, depending on your hero's wisdom stat, which mine's very high, to make them unstoppable for 2 turns. And unstoppable basically means they can't be hit with any status effects, I believe. And then here's the big one, swiftness. This plays off of your wisdom and vitality stat. Oh, no. For the agility part, it plays off of your vitality stat. So I have 16 vitality stats, so I can basically transfer 16 agility to my knight and my archer. So that's what I'm doing here. Hey, what's up, Jenny? Doing good? Getting ready to do the void hunts? But yeah, this entire stream and recording has been a basically tutorial on getting heroes and everything else needed to make a pretty strong void hunt team for as low of a cost as possible. And the archer, if we're playing the dexterity route, I'm usually keeping it simple and going all left tree here with the skills all on the left. When you're level 15 for the archer, assuming you get the agility closer to 30 to 40, you can use the middle tree and a pet that has a skill called flow state, because this middle tree makes you slower with attacking because you have to channel. And when you're channeling, you basically spend a lot of time charging up your attacks and not hitting right away. That's something for another day. But making it simple, we're going to go with these skills. And the knight. For the knight, the mighty strike is his strongest attack. Shield up makes him even tankier, which is, you really can't go wrong with shield up or challenge. But the good thing with challenge is if it lands, you have a percent chance to taunt the target, and that is on hit 25 plus 3 times your strength.s plus the endurance chance to taunt the target for 2 turns. So if you taunt the target for 2 turns, that means they can only attack your knight for 2 turns. But you can only hit it. You can only do challenge on 1 hero. And shield up gives you these bonuses for 3 turns. So it makes the knight do less damage for 3 turns, but you also get 10% block rate for 3 turns and 50% physical defense, so that's huge. But since my backline heroes are weak, I think I'm going to go with this route. And this passive here increases the physical defense of the heroes behind the knight by my endurance. So I have a lot of endurance, so that's going to make them a little bit tankier as well. And these 2 passives are also great for the knight himself, but they're not going to be protecting the backline as much. And the middle tree here, it kind of has some resistance to push and pull, and it can push and pull the enemy, which is something in the void hunt, for the boar hunt specifically. The Bach hunt can push you when it does the gust attack. It like charges up a big whirlwind and it hits your whole team. But for the boar hunt, I really like the left side because, let me read this. Yeah, Forever Vigilant. This one plays into the passive skill already with protecting my backline heroes. I get a chance to daze the enemy I'm hitting, so this does damage to the enemy, but it also increases the hero's daze resistance behind me by 40%. And in the boar hunt, the little boars use headbutt, and if they use headbutt, it has a high percent to daze a hero that they hit with headbutt. And when you get dazed, it basically takes the turn you were about to have and delays it further. So it sucks getting dazed. And Interception here is the next one. So if I were to use Forever Vigilant on my knight, and then in the next knight's turn I use Interception, it combos with Forever Vigilant, and this gives me 30% physical defense on the knight. for 30 ticks, which is different than turns. And we'll get into ticks in the boar hunt now. Here we go. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot to cover, but you know, once you get into the groove, it's like all second nature, for me at least. So this is charging up, but give me a minute, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Had to use the restroom after all that talking. All right, here we go. So right off the bat, you can see I got a stack of bleed, and the more I get hit by all the boars, they have a chance to keep applying more stacks of bleed. So if that goes up to 2 stacks, 3 stacks, the damage I take keeps multiplying by like 2, I believe. So it's not good to let that stack. So I'm going to start out with Freedom here, and Mama Boar has a skill called Grunt, I think it's called, and it targets your frontline hero, and it basically taunts it. So if I have Unstoppable, which I did get from the priest, here it is. So because my wisdom stat is so high, I have a 60% chance to become unstoppable for whatever hero I use Freedom on. So that 60% chance did put Unstoppable on the knight, and I cannot be affected by negative status effects or push and pull. So these boars can't push or pull, well, they can't pull my knight because he's in the front. I think they can still pull the heroes behind my knight, but they can't push my knight. So that's good too. And the Mama Boar can't taunt my knight either, I don't believe, because that's a negative status effect. So all that lined up perfectly. Now I'm going to start out with multi-shot. And this has a 20% crit strike chance. CSC is critical strike chance. So that's also a great part of the multi-shot. And then after I use it, it combos with rapid shot. So if I used multi-shot in the last turn, I get a 30% crit strike. And then after using rapid shot, there's a combo with repeating shot. If I used rapid shot in the last turn, I fire 3 arrows instead of 2. But I don't know if there's any critical strike bonus there. We'll check again once I get to my 3rd turn. 151 crit damage, so that was a nice hit. I could start off with Challenge. I could start off with Iron Skin to reduce my damages further, but I hate the daze from these little boars. So I'm going to get this combo going and get Daze Resistance on my backline. And it says combo, if For Honor is active, the Daze Resistance is 60% instead of 40%. So the heroes behind me are going to get 60% Daze Resistance. And you know if the combo is active because there's a green border around this icon. If there's no green border, the combo is not active. But For Honor is a passive. So in the knight's case, this combo right here isn't with this skill being used, it's with having the passive. So the combo is always active here, but not on interception. That'll come up next turn. Nah, I don't play GTA 5. Jenny. Okay. The knight's taken a lot of damage already, so I could use this heal trait and get 226 HP, but I do want to make him a bit faster. It does do less healing though. So if I look at my knight's agility, it's 14. But after using the swiftness heal on the knight, in just a second. Okay, now let me click on him. You'll see it went up to 30 because my priest had 16 vitality. It basically added that 16 to my knight's agility. The 14 plus the 16 is 30. So now my knight's a lot faster than he initially was. And back to the archer, we now have a combo active with rapid shot, and this has a 33% chance to daze the enemy if the arrow crits. And every arrow that crits has that 33% chance to daze the target. And we're firing 3 arrows, so let's see what happens. 1 crit, it didn't daze that boar, and that was the only arrow that had a chance to crit. Now my knight is going to combo interception, which redirects 50% of all damage dealt to the ally behind my knight, which is the archer, back to the knight for 30 ticks. And a tick is every one of these lines is a tick. And I think this is wider than 30 ticks, yeah. So it's quite a while, long enough. Okay, the mama boar tried to taunt my knight, but it failed. I did get dazed, so that's gonna slow me down by 500 initiative points. I'm gonna use this heal trait to conserve some mana points. So that's taking my knight back to 5 away from full HP. Now this is an active combo, but if I use this now, it's going to leave my archer exhausted. And if I were to do 378 damage to one of either of these boars, and I were to kill them right now, the big boar would have its turn right after I kill one of these. And if I kill one of these boars without stunning, dazing, exhausting, taunting the mama boar, it's going to use Rampage, which will hit all my heroes heavily. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to use my active trait Death Mark just to do some damage. And then start that arrow combo all over again on the next turn. Here, I'm gonna probably try and blind the boss. It's like a 80% chance to blind, and it didn't land. You can click on the hero to see the blind resistance. It only had 7% chance, but 29% block chance right now. And back to here, gonna try and make the knight unstoppable again with a 60% chance. We didn't get unstoppable, but we cleansed the bleed. Okay, now here's another strat you can play into with the boars. They use Nuzzle, and it has a 5-turn cooldown before they can use it again. So this boar healed this boar. So if I am to hit this boar again, this boar is going to use its Nuzzle on it. So what I could do is focus on the boar here and ignore the other boar, so this boar doesn't have a chance to heal. And then hope I can get Mama to start Wild Charge so that I can KO this boar with no penalty. I'm going to use Iron Skin. I could also try and challenge the Mama boar. I might do that on the next turn. So now I have increased defenses from that Iron Skin active trait I used. We're gonna challenge you. Actually, not yet, I don't think. Tough decision, tough decision. So you'll be up next with your rapid shot, but you using the rapid is gonna be risky. Let me see if I can taunt the boss. 69% chance to taunt, missed. Taunt resistance is 7%. Okay, we lost the agility heal on the knight, so let's apply that agility back on. We do have 3 stacks of bleed now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use a coagulant potion to get rid of these 3 stacks of bleed. And the potion provides 50 ticks where I can't get bleed applied at all, so that's also why I like that potion. Okay, gonna continue damaging the front board. And I missed. That's where that low dexterity is coming in to missing. Okay, gonna use a safe multi-shot on the front baby boar because I don't want to hit this one, because then this boar will just heal it up, and that's gonna waste me some mana and time. Okay, I can go ahead and poison the boss, because the boss needs to get like below half HP to be nuzzled anyway. I didn't land the poison. Alright. We're gonna continue the combo chain with the knight on the front boar. Now will you use wild charge? Nope. Ooh, okay. Charm pulled my priest all the way to the front. I don't like this one bit. Alright. Let's see if we can just kill the boar, and I'll show you what a rampage is. Gonna get the knight back in the front by repositioning my priest. There we go. Now my knight is taunted, so I can only hit the boss right now for 2 turns until taunt goes away. There's a rampage. You can see that's quite a lot of damage. It hit everybody. Probably gonna heal the archer first. I have no choice but to use a basic. And now it uses wild charge. That means I can try and take out this boar with no penalty, because the big boar is going to use wild charge anyway, and it hits everybody just like rampage, but it's slightly different. I need to heal the knight so it doesn't die. There is a chance my priest dies from wild charge, but what can you do? Oh, hanging on by 7 health. Okay, did you get bleed? No, you didn't get bled. Okay, we don't have to use a health potion. I don't need to do that, so I'm gonna basic attack it to finish it off. And Mama is exhausted, so she's not coming back up until here on the time bar. The priest is out of mana, so I could use a mana vial, but I don't know if I need to. I might be able to finish this off without healing anybody else, which means I have to basic attack here and rely on the archer to do the rest of the work. So 9 mana, 15 mana, 20 mana. If I add that up, that's 35 plus 9 is 44. I don't have enough to use all 3, so I need to use rapid and then repeating. Alright, that did quite a bit of damage. Just gonna go back to basic attacks for these 2. Alright, 52 damage. Now Now the big hit has a potential to do 242 damage, so I could KO the boss with this. There we go, and we win. So in total, that took 69 turns. Look at that, what a meme. Turn 69, we win. Alright, claim that out of there, see what we get. Okay, 855 XP, pretty much across the board. I get the potions back I did not use, and because I have this power-up at the jeweler called Thrifty for locking and staking jewel, I did get a coagulant potion back that I did use. Now I'm gonna put stamina potions into those 3 heroes so I can go into the Bach Void Hunt right away. And I think then at that point we're gonna cut the video and probably end it for the day. But then we got everything done with a staple team for both Void Hunts. Okay, Priest, Archer, Knight. I think I'm gonna go with the same set of skills other than the Knight maybe. But do note, the Bach is harder, it's level 12, so I might not win. It definitely would be nice to taunt the big Bach, the Mama Bach. But what else? Iron Will. This one has a chance to silence, which is also nice to use against the Bachs. Ironclad Defense. So basically this side mostly focuses on just my Knight, where this side focuses on my back line heroes, plus some of the bonuses hit my Knight too. This tree has a chance to stun and push and pull the enemies. Yeah, 15 plus strength. So I don't have a ton of strength, and that's what's playing into the stun. I think I'm going to try it with the left skill tree as is. And here's my blind potions and my coagulant. There is some bleed going on, but I don't think it gets as crazy as the boar. Yeah, I think, oh, battle budget 15. Okay. I'm gonna take away 1 mana vial, HP vial, and add a mana vial. There we go. Now we're gonna go in with this team. Why do I choose a Knight? I don't know. They definitely are tankier than a warrior. That's the one. The warrior has a harder time with endurance. And they do have a different skill tree. The Knight and the warrior both have an attack that can taunt, but the Knight offers protection to your backline heroes. The warrior doesn't do that. Okay, right off the bat, I get hit and blinded, so I'm going to go in with Freedom and try and apply Unstoppable. Okay, we didn't get the Unstoppable, but we got rid of that annoying blind. I don't think my Knight can hit the backline Bach, so that's why I'm focusing. Yeah, I'm focusing on the middle for that reason. I want to get the bonuses from these 2 codex skills off right away, and then I'm going to try and blind and taunt the boss with the Knight. I'm going to go with Agility Heal, because I need the Knight to move quick to run through these combos, and the blind. So we're going up to 30 Agility again. What? Okay, that's unlucky. If I would have taunted the boss, that wouldn't have happened. We're going to have to probably retry. We got double stunned right off the bat. Yeah, that's a big ol' rip. Yeah, we're gonna forfeit and retry. That's terrible. Unlucky. Yeah, I gotta leave game, go into here, retry hunt. Yeah, you usually don't get body slammed in the beginning, but it does happen. That was brutal. Alright, we're gonna try that again. Take two. Yeah, what a body slam, dude. And it paralyzed two heroes. I'm pretty much screwed at that point. Can only do so much. Alright, so this time, I get to go before the enemy. So the thing with having high agility or low agility at the start, there's still an RNG roll with the turn order at the start. So it's not who has the most agility moves first, because 26, 28, 28. They're all faster than my entire team, but I'm getting to move first with two heroes. I probably got a higher RNG dice roll on that RNG side of the agility in turn order. We got the poison off from the priest. The priest didn't need to heal, so that was a good use of his poison blade. Gonna go back to trying to kill the middle chicken, because those little blocks are annoying. They hit people and blind, and they can confuse. And if you do take one out, the mama will use lay egg, so it wastes one of her turns to revive one of those little chickens. And we'll see if not trying to taunt the boss early is a bad or good move. Alright, there we go. Hit you anyways, so that's fine. Now my priest needs to heal the archer, because I need to clear the blind off of my damage hero. One stack of bleed is okay. I can live with one stack of bleed. I really need to get the extra defense off from the combo here, and then I can go into the other stuff. So I'm going to use the combo and get 30% physical defense on my knight for 30 ticks, and then I can see if I need to challenge or blind the boss. I like using blinding winds on both the Mama Boar and the Mama Bach. Oh boy. Okay, so the chicken is charging the tornado that hits all my team members, so that's not very fun. 101. I can try to KO this chicken. That would be helpful to reduce the amount of damage output on their side. Now the chance to blind is 80% and minus 7%, so it is pretty high. My chance to taunt is only 66%. I don't know if my taunt breaks the channel. I'm gonna gamble on the taunt. Let's see if I can land the taunt and see if it breaks the channel. Well, I got the taunt off, but it doesn't seem to be breaking the channel, so I guess that wasn't the wise move. Blinding winds would have probably been better. Oh, okay, now I need to do the reposition game. Reposition game again. The nice thing about using reposition is you get 250 initiative points back, so you don't have to wait too long to move again. Where's my priest? You're coming up right away, so I'm going to use Iron Skin, and then my priest is going to use Freedom. So looking at the turn order bar is also helpful in determining what you do strategy-wise each turn, because it is more like a classic RPG with the turn order thinking. And now I'm going to use the Blinding Winds and hope I can blind the boss. And she's going to lay an egg. Oh, I missed. Okay. And she's going to lay an egg. Yep. But yeah, keep in mind, they're all level 12 and I'm level 10, so it's already pretty hard. Now, what to do? I think I'm going to focus damage on the back chicken, because these eggs have higher physical defense naturally. Gonna speed up my archer, and then I'm gonna go back to healing the knight after that. Yeah, why not? Throw some more damage on the boss. Get daze resistance. I'm gonna go for a big heal, not an agility heal on the knight, because I need to get the healing in. Rapid shot, gotta use it, might as well. That's my best play here. Oh, that was huge. Oh boy. I don't know if that puts the HP low enough for the chicken to go into demon mode or not. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and taunt the boss again. No, but we did get intimidate. Ooh, okay, that was damn it, dude. You had to blind me, didn't you? 71% chance. If that didn't blind me, I could KO the damn boss right now. 74. Alright, I'm probably gonna miss, but let's see if I can take it out. Perfect. Alright. We recovered an unlucky fumble there. Gotta use Freedom Heal to clear out the blind. And now I think I need to pop some mana potions on the knight, at least. Lay a... Oh, are you kidding? Alright, no paralyze, no stun. I stunned the archer, I don't need you stunned. Ah, rip. This is just bad luck, man. Alright, gonna try and speed you up. There's no combo there, but I actually need to throw the mana on the priest because I need to heal. And you're up again. Alright, so let's try and take out the chicken. I still have one free turn when Mama's exhaust is up where she can't lay an egg. So we're going to focus all damage on this little chicken and then try and KO the boss. Because you do not want to deal with Demon Box, especially when you're under-leveled. It is no fun. Alright, agility heal back on my archer. The knight still has agility heal. I need to hit hard and fast as possible right now. That's all I can do. I need to KO you. Okay. And I need to... Oh, shit. I probably shouldn't have done that. I need to daze you. I need to daze the boss. Come on. No. Can you daze the boss? Probably not. Nope. I think it's going to lay an egg. Ah, that's a big rip. Now I got to deal with those all over again. Ah. Okay. Basic attack, yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. You're still good on mana, but you're gonna need more. I will use it on the knight first. I have 2 more mana potions to use after this, so it's not too bad. That's not a smart move because I'll be exhausted. That's not a smart... Well, basic attack is a smart move, actually. I'm going to go ahead with the basic attack, and then I'm going to go into multi-rapid on the next turn. No, I'm not going to flee. I'm not going to flee, man. We'll be able to beat this. I feel it. I feel it. Still got 2 agility on you, so I'm going to go ahead and pop agility on the knight. And then I'm going to have to pop a mana potion on the archer. So let's go basic attack first, start doing damage. Okay, now they're going to start charging their hatch. But that's okay, because they're channeling. Damn, that was weak. Piercing shot is where I would be doing more damage. Okay, since they're channeling, my basic attack has a chance to daze them, and it didn't land. This has a chance to daze as well. Ah, didn't daze! Unlucky, man. Nothing dazed. Well, now I gotta deal with both. Okay, now I have another chance to daze. Can I please daze one? Oh, that was beautiful. I will take it. Now we're gonna take out one. That's one we don't... Fuck, you really? You had to miss? I hate this game right now. Bro. Dude, oh my god. They don't want us to win, bro. They don't want us to win. It's over. We just lost. Yep. It's over. Well, I don't think I'm gonna give that another go at the moment. We had the good shot at winning, but those misses, both of those misses guaranteed we lost. If I would have landed one of those basic attacks, we would have only had to deal with one chicken, and then we would have won. Ah, boy. Yeah, I think I'm done with that team. But, you know, keep in mind they're level 10 versus level 12. That was brutal with the misses. Alright, we're gonna collect the XP. Yeah, that was brutal at the end. But, you know, if you're gonna do the block hunt, you basically want to have a level 12 team anyway. The easiest time I had at beating the block hunt under level was when I was using triple warrior teams that were dark summoned with greater stones, because they have a passive trait that gives them 40% defenses, as you may know. Yeah, I don't think I have any really that aren't... I leveled them all up. These are all without stones. But yeah, like if you put these knights in, or warriors, sorry, they have this skill right here. It's a passive. You get 40% physical defense as a passive. It does reduce their damage a little bit, but it makes them very tanky, which makes it easier to do the bot hunt when you're not level 12 or higher. Aside from that, the other success I had with doing bot hunts while being under leveled were my pirates. They were all level 10 once upon a time. You know, now you can see they're like 15, 14, 13, 11. Like this one right here, 51 luck, 27 dex. This was level 10 recently. And it was paired up with the level 11 and 12 pirates, and they were clearing Bach just fine. So, you know, at the moment, it's still pirates that are dark summoned with either the luck or the dexterity stone are going to make it a lot easier. Yeah, I can do the triple pirate. It's just not going to be all level 10. Damn it, I think my pets are inactive too. I'm gonna have to go through and break all those scavenger pets today. Big ol' rip. Yeah, the pirate run shouldn't take too long. That's not my pets. Why did it change? Okay. Break bond. Break bond. And this is because there's a bug with feeding pets right now when they go hungry. I don't really understand what's going on, but I am unable to refeed them. So I need to unbond them on. Wait the 24-hour cooldown before I can bond them back. That's only 8. Where's the other ones at? Oh, down here. Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, see the cooldown now under these. 4 more to break bond with. And these are those pets that are supposed to help you get more loot with a higher drop rate, but so far they haven't been doing shit. Okay, back into pure pirate team. I think the best I can do with what has been dark summoned is going to be level 11, 13, and 14, because they've all been leveling up at different rates now. Alright, I think I'm just going to go ahead and maybe use the Vorpal Soul, keep it simple, or the Good Eye, which is accuracy. Maybe we'll go for 2% accuracy on all of them if I have enough. And really, this is just RNG. I'm going to throw the 5% on the lowest level. And you're level 13, I'll give you a 2%. And then you can get a 2% accuracy as well. How about that? And I already repaired this. I'm going to turn that into a Vizzy once it's broken down. Okay, so a pirate. It's a real simple strategy, playing mostly into the luck stat. But you do need some of that dex to like be around 30 or so, or else you're gonna miss a lot. But my level 11 pirate has 27 dex, my level 13 pirate here has 27 dex, and my level 14 pirate has 31 dex. And you can see I went all out on luck. This one was a random dark summon that I didn't specifically make for Void Hunts, and it has a Wisdom Stone, so you know that's why it has lower luck than the others. This one has the highest amount of dexterity, so sometimes I throw Warning Shot on my highest dexterity pirate, because that you don't need Full Sail on everybody, and Warning Shot plays more into dex. So whatever your highest dex pirate is, you can just put Warning Shot on that tier 1 skill slot, and then everybody else is using all the right side tree. Even if you're level 15 pirates eventually, you know, I use Parlay too, because it's a very strong attack and lowers the enemy's defenses. But we're not going to have that here. Here we're going to have the passive on everybody for a higher luck stat, which is going to play more into the crits for everything. And then Starboard Cannons plays into the luck stat too, and the Kraken. So here we go. Same potions. My adjusted difficulty between all my heroes is level 13, so I have 11, 13, and 14. So I'm going to be facing the level 13 Bach team. So yeah, we'll go through the triple pirate team so you can see how it plays. But most of the time, they just demolish everything. I do have to retry occasionally, you know, sometimes RNG is horrible. But when the RNG is normal, they steamroll both Void Hunts most of the time. But occasionally they'll go miss and miss and miss, and then maybe the Mama Bach will body slam me on the second turn and stun everybody, you know, there's a bad RNG. But for the most part, it's very fun using triple pirates, and even if you have to retry because of bad RNG, you just need good RNG the next time, and then there you go. Alright. Do always start out with Starboard Cannons for everybody. It's very simple. Just everybody channeling, even on the Boar Void Hunt. Because the Boar Void Hunt, if you use your channeling skills your very first turn, the Boars will not use Headbutt. And if you wait, they will use Headbutt. And if they daze your channeling heroes, your Starboard Cannon is wasted. You can't use it, and you have to wait to cool down. So you always start out with Starboard Cannons. And look at this. Starboard Cannons apply 2 stacks to Mama, where she takes extra damage, 35%, it's applied twice. And now it's also simple. Everybody's going to use Curse of the Sea. I just love the pirates. They're so much fun. If there was ever a team to triple invest in like this, it's the pirates. Just be warned though, that's also why the floors for the pirates and the luck stone and crystals are higher. Because I have daze, I'm gonna try and daze the boss, because that will break her channeling, just like daze would break my channeling. Let's see if it lands. A 70% chance. Boom! Broke her channel. Perfect. Now I'm gonna use full sail on my highest luck pirate. I hit heads, so I get 15 extra agility. That's very nice. I don't really know what I want to do here. I just need to get starboard cannons rolling again. Really. I don't want to get Mama too low because I don't want to enrage. I don't want to make Demon Box. And the Kraken might do that. Already, actually. Let's see what happens though. But dealing with Demon Box with a triple pirate team is a hell of a lot easier than everything else. Look at that, dude. Just insane. And the turn, we're only on turn 27 and we almost won. I could just basic attack the rest of this. But I don't even need to, because look up here. I get to go before Mama. So I might as well use Starboard Cannon and clear up the Void Hunt, and we're done, dude. I would say we had good RNG here, though, for sure. But if you have normal RNG, it's still easy. If you have bad RNG, you might lose, and then you retry, and then you just need normal RNG, and then you win. But you still need, you know, like the underlying strats to make it a little bit easier to where you don't kill the baby boars in the wrong time and get rampaged, because then your pirates can die and stuff like that. But yeah, there we go. Triple pirates just demolished before turn 30. Oh, turn 32. Okay. Well, much faster than the Priest Archer Knight on the Boar Hunt, where it took 69 turns. And there we go. I get to level up this pirate too. Very cool. Let's see how high I can crank the luck up on him now. 30, 30, 30. Dex. Agility. Boom. Welcome to level 12. Yeah, dude, that was nuts. They don't always go that good, but they do go that good often enough each week. But I hardly ever have to retry with the triple pirate teams. It's not very often. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier to level the pirate than like an archer or a wizard. And the pirate plays off as a heavy damage hero and a support hero. That was a crazy level up too. Alright, all the good RNG just came in. The 3 in luck was the main thing I wanted. And we got a good HP roll, decent MP, and then just crazy stats. 12 stats on a non-5 level increment, 5, 10, 15, 20, is huge. So there we go. Damn. Alright, but yeah, I think that'll be it for today's video. I need to eat some lunch. It's been a few hours now. But thanks for watching, and we can do something else different next time. But yeah, the triple pirates are definitely the most fun at the moment if you're going to start at level 10. If you're going to start at level 15, it's really fun, but probably more expensive than the level 10 pirate route to look at level 15 wizard and priests. Commons aren't too expensive, neither are uncommons. What about rare? Might be able to burn this with another one and do a demonstration with the level 15 double wizard priest team next time. But what was I gonna say? Wizards are still harder to use more than one of until they get to level 15 because of the codex skill the wizards unlock at level 15 is just broken. And the same thing with the priest at level 15, it gets a full party barrier skill, which you kind of need to. But yeah, what's your question in the chat before we go ahead and end this? And then I think when we do another video, I'll go over maybe a wizard priest team at level 15. For hunt scholarships, I think Zan does that in Discord. I think I invited you to his Discord, but I'll DM it to you again once I shut this stream down. But I think his Discord was like ZMA or something, and he has Zan in his username. I know that he does sponsor some Void Hunters. So I mean that's another thing you could look into too. But yeah, I think that is one of the main things he does there. I'm not really aware of anybody else specifically doing that. Like Axie Infinity has an actual program. We don't really have one at this time. But, you know, I mean, if you got like... Let's see if we look at pirates. Looking at level 10s, so, you know, 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents. So yeah, if we're buying 2, 4, 6 just to make one team, that is like $2.30, 50 cents. And then if we're going through all that trouble, we are going to need the stones. But, you know, regular stone is enough. But you would need like 3 of these, so that's another 60 cents for the regular luck stone, not the greater. You don't need the greater. It is like 6 times the price. You don't need any crystals either, but they do help with the level ups. And if I were to look at like 30, that would cover every level up on the 3 heroes. But you know, that is a little bit up there. 10 is $1.50, but you can get by without those, but you would need a little bit of DE at least for a few rerolls. And I mean, it's not that hard to grab some of right now. Like, wow, it is really cheap still. So what does $1 get you? 85 DE? You don't even need that much. So you could skip out on the crystals entirely. You would just have to spend a few dollars buying those rare level 10 pirates and 3 regular fortune stones and dark summoning them together. But there is a small chance you don't get a pirate, so you have to be aware of that. But that is a cheap way to make your own pirate team. And you don't need the crystals if that's not in your budget. You do need DE though, and DE is very cheap. And you saw how I didn't even use nearly anywhere near that number on those 3 heroes that weren't pirates. I feel like the pirates are easier to level. And then you would just go level up the pirates after you dark summon them, and then re-roll occasionally. And when leveling up those pirates, you are focusing primarily on the luck and banking on the secondary luck from your stone. So I mean, if you didn't want to use crystals at all, it would be more worth it to get the greater fortune stones if you're not going to use any level up crystals at all. But you can still definitely get by with the regular fortune stone. You don't have to grab those either. You don't have to grab the greater fortune stone. It would just help, especially if you're not going to get any level up crystals in there. But either way, if you do regular Fortune Stone or Greater Fortune Stone with no crystal, I would still go up here. Primary boost on luck. Primary boost on Vit and Dex for a little bit. Until you get to like maybe 15 Vitality is probably enough. And then you could start hopping over to Agility Dex, Strength Dex. But you definitely want to focus always Dex down here and Luck up here for the Hunter Pirates. And then you can flip-flop between Agility and Strength. Once your first few levels, you do the Vit Dex. And then I'd say once you get this to like 15, you can probably stop secondary boosting it. And then try and get your Agility into the 20 range. But at least 20 by level 10 is usually enough. If you can get like 25, that's great. And then Strength. After you get your Agility to 20, if your Strength is lagging, try and get your Strength to 20. But your two main stats for the Pirate are the Luck and the Dex. And the Luck helps immensely with those crits and those Codex skills all on the right side. And the drop rates of loot in the Void Hunts. But not in Patrols. Patrols is a little different. That has to do with your hero's luck at their level compared to every other hero's luck at that level. It's kind of strange. It's like a percentile. But Void Hunts is easier, right? You know, your luck, more luck means more drop rate. And in the Pirate's case, more luck is more damage and more chance of doing crits, which also does more damage. Also, I'll cover the one more thing that is helping make the Pirate broken with this class. It's a dagger. Right here, increase critical hit damage multiplier by 1. So already this dagger is making crits do more damage. Still has a chance to apply bleed, but also it gives you 15% speed. So you don't even need a ton of agility. Like getting to 20 agility is just fine because you're getting 15% extra speed from the dagger too. And the warrior can use it, but the warrior kind of sucks with the dagger. Ninja is going to be a huge one in a couple of years whenever that comes out. But right now, Pirate is the main class that just destroys with the dagger. So yeah, that pretty much covers the Pirate. And if we go into here, I don't think the light armor gives speed, but it does give some evasion. So you could use the light armor on your backline pirates, and whichever pirate gets more HP, you could just throw the medium armor on it. Because where's the pirate at? Pirate right here. Yeah, you could use the medium armor on everybody too. It doesn't really matter. It is cheaper than the light armor. The extra 5% evasion might help the backline heroes a little, but you can just go with all medium armor. That one gives you more defense. A lot more defense. Like almost double the physical defense. Yeah. Light armor, medium armor. Yep. Pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But yeah, good luck. And yeah, thanks for joining. Go ahead and end the stream now.